Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Madison Hall and I am a clean white fantasy author, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about all of my writer-author goals. If you're new to the channel, you have no clue who I am, and that's actually very fair because you've probably never seen me a day in your life. But I actually wrote this clean white fantasy novel called The Ruined Girls, and we're actually going to talk about it in just a second, but I kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about me first. I wrote this book for the course of 3 years, and it took a year of editing, so around 4 years to get it published, and then it took about 2 months to get it published, so a year and 4 years and some change. And it was published July 31st of last year. Now, as you guys know, July 31st is actually coming up. I want to talk about some of my author goals and then also what we're going to do to celebrate the anniversary. But before we even get into that, you guys have to know what the book is about before I kind of tell you guys my goals, So this book right here is actually near and dear to my heart. This is actually not my first project ever. I've worked on another project that I've been working on for about 5 years, which is actually really crazy. This is actually not my first novel that I've written. This is just the first to get published and actually make it out of the works, which is so shocking to me. I've always loved reading. I've been reading since I was a very little girl. I can't even tell you an age, because I think I was just reading the second that the second I learned how to say words, I was reading day in, day out. I literally stayed up to read all the time as a child. Reading has always been just so near and dear to my heart. When I turned 7, I want to say, I actually started collecting notebooks, and in every single notebook I would write a story. I've been writing since I was 7. I wrote stories. I loved series like The Dork Diaries. There was this other book that was kind of like Dork Diaries. I've actually been trying to find it for a while now because I want to make a video where I read my childhood books and stuff. But I've been trying to find the title of this book for so long. It was like Dork Diaries, but it wasn't Dork Diaries, and I only read one of the books. It was middle of the series, and I got it as a gift, and it was this girl, she was putting on this play production or something, but it was Dork Diaries. It wasn't just some story. That's not even the point. We're not even here to talk about that. But like I said, I've been writing for 7 years, and writing has always been so near and dear to my heart, and so obviously I have some goals. So The Ruined Girls is about Amira, who can control fire, comes from a nice family, and then Valentina, who has no family. She's poor, but she can talk to animals. And as you guys can tell, these girls are polar opposites, but they both find out they're part of the royal family. But when they arrive at the castle, they discover there's a curse. It's causing not only the guards, the chefs, basically everyone supposed to be on their side, but also their family to turn against them and trying to bring the castle down. So these two have to go ahead and break the curse, but also try not to get wrapped up in the tension and jealousy that's been residing in the castle for centuries. So it's really about finding yourself, because especially for Valentina, because she has no clue. This is her first time hearing anything about her family in years, but also finding friends. And also I want to include the fact that there's no romance, because I feel like romance now is something that people try to incorporate in every single book, and we don't need it in every single book. I find that it's very important to stress the fact that there are platonic relationships that we can run to, and you see that with Valentina and the characters introduced later into the story. But platonic relationships are so important, and I feel like it shouldn't just be romantic relationships in books, so therefore none is included in this story. Because why would I I want to think outside the box. I want to do something different. It's definitely a book that's on the shorter side, as you can probably tell. My first goal is to reach 1,000 followers on Instagram by July 31st to celebrate the big anniversary. And then along with the anniversary, also have people send in pictures and videos of them holding the book or having the book in their home and posting a whole bunch of reviews by July 31st. That way I can make a nice, wonderful anniversary video appreciating all of you guys who have shown support within the first year of publishing and publicating my book, because this is just something that's so special to me. I want to have at least 100 sales by the end of the year. If by counting, because I do keep track of that stuff, I've sold around 80 copies. But as an indie author, it's so hard to sell copies of your book after it's publicated, because it's all about the promoting after that. Because when you promote the book for so long and then it's finally published, that's when all the orders roll in. But after the book has actually been published and there's no more new hype around it, it's really hard to promote that book and get it out there and have people want to buy it and talk about it and promote it and write reviews about it. And it's so hard. So that's definitely a goal that I have, because I want to reach 100, but it's so hard because promoting my book goes to people, but people will like, people will comment, but they won't purchase, or they won't read it on Kindle. And trust me, I get it. Like, trust me, like, you don't want to just buy a book the second you see an author on your For You page, because if we all did that, we'd all just be broke. But it would mean so much to me if we just reached 100 by the end of the year. I've actually talked about this before. I wanted to publish Broken Past, which was the prequel to this book, or the novella book 1.5, in May, but it didn't happen because of editing issues. And I felt like maybe this was just my cue to not publish anything else for a while. And this is mainly just because the fact that I feel like Broken Past, I feel, had a great story, but I feel like since it was me trying to rush and push it out by May, and the editing didn't get finished by May, I feel like that was kind of my sign to not publish anything for a few years. And one of my goals is to finish 2 of my manuscripts. I'm currently in the middle of 2 manuscripts, and I want to finish them both this year, so that way when I decide that I want to go back, I have 2 manuscripts that are sitting on already that can be edited and worked on. But I don't want to publish anything this year or next year, because I want to focus more on actually writing the book and making sure that the story and the heart is in all of my stories, just like it was in the Ruined Worlds. I want to be able to have the privilege to take years to finish writing my book, especially because I don't have a publisher and I don't have a deadline chasing me down every 5 seconds. The next goal that I don't have a whole bunch of goals, but the next goal that I have is to be able to do more signings. Okay, I've been working on trying to do another one in August, but I don't know if that's guaranteed or not. But I want to do a lot more signings for you guys, because they're so special. Like, to meet so many of you. I've done about 3 or 4 signings, and I've got to meet so many of you. It's so special to talk to all these amazing readers, and also some aspiring authors. And I've been able to give authors tips as well with writing in my comment section on my Instagram videos. But having signings is just so special to me, because I feel like I can actually connect with my readers and also meet so many new people. Because when people come to a bookstore and they see somebody doing a signing, they're like, oh, I want to go speak with that author. And it's so special because I can engage with new readers, and I can tell them about my book, and they can hear my story, and they can read the story that I wrote, because The Ruined Worlds literally has all of my emotions, all of my feelings. It's all in a 100, 200 page book. And it's just, I don't know if you guys understand like how special it is to me that I'm able to connect with so many people on a daily basis, especially with the platform that I have, with the amount of people that I have on both YouTube and Instagram combined. That's almost like 2,000. That's 2,000 people and some change. I get to speak to 2,000 of you guys almost every single day and give advice to so many of you and talk to so many of you and connect with so many of you. And I feel like nobody understands how special it is to me. And I love being able to have the privilege to do that God has actually like spirited me to write and to use my word and my platform to speak more about him, but also about my books. And I'm so grateful that he gave me such a gift to be able to write with such passion, because I know so many people don't have the ability or don't have the passion to write the way that me and other authors do. So I'm just so grateful for God at the end of the day. Like, it's all glory to God. I feel like I don't say that enough, but all glory to God, because without him, this book wouldn't be a thing. Without him, this platform that I have wouldn't be a thing. Without God, I wouldn't have made it as far as I have in life. And I feel like I don't give thanks to him enough on this channel, maybe in private, but I feel like I don't do it publicly enough. And obviously, I want to be able to worship God in both private and public. And I feel like on this channel, I don't do it enough. Even though I have Bible dedicated videos, I feel like I don't talk about Jesus enough on my channel, and I want to talk about him more. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to ramble. Another goal is to write. I have a non-fiction book that I've been writing for a while, and I want to write that. And I also have a poetry book that I've shared, I think, about 1 or 2 of my poems before, but I want to publish my poetry book as well, and I want to finish writing it first of all before we even think about publishing. But yeah, those are just some of my writing goals. Once again, this is The Ruined Worlds. It's available on Amazon, and it's also available on Etsy and Depop for a discount. It's only available on Etsy and Depop for signed, but Etsy and Depop are signed, but Depop is the only one with a discount. So go purchase it on Depop if you guys want a discount. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. But just more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.